Okay, so welcome to Sunday Satsang, August 7th, 2022, Radha Kunda. Jaya Jaya Sri Radhe. Shiva and Sadashiva. Okay, so what's the question? It goes faster, it's on 3. All right, ready. Turn it up more. You said, you got this guy here to do this stuff, you know. It's your brother-in-law. That's 4 or 5?
5.
5, I think 4. That's good. No problem. Okay, so questions. Prashna. Tato Brahma Jignasa. Now is the time to inquire about the absolute truth. Go in the kitchen, get the offering ready, fad. No, sorry, go Jaya Sri Radhe. Just say Radhe. But Sunday's not a good day. That's the conclusion is not on Sunday. Next time, Saturday. No problem. Hurry up. Why is it still hot over the garage? Jaya Radhe. Questions? Jai Chota Baba. Das Das. Okay. Oh, watch out. Careful. The rug is trippy there. Okay. Yeah. All right. Oh.
The question is, Guru, if disciple do something wrong, Guru can reject disciple, and it's written in your Guru Tattva. But if Guru rejected the disciple, and Guru is eternally have a relationship with disciple, how it happened? It's only for one life, or after they meet, or whatever?
Yeah. Okay. Thank you. Question is, it's told in discussions of Guru Tattva that a guru may reject a disciple. So how is this? The Guru's rejected a disciple? How does this uphold the principle of the Guru? You have your Gurus every life. You have it eternally. You have your Guru. Jami say, Prabhu say, this Prabhu, this Master is my Guru life after life. Lokanath Goswami is a Guru Narottam this life and every life. Of course, he doesn't have another life, but that's the fact. So, first of all, the definition of the eternal relationship with the Guru is the Guru that reveals the Siddhanta. You may have many lifetimes you go and have many Gurus. There's one Guru that reveals your Siddhanta, and that Guru is a Jami Prabhu say. Because Lokanath Goswami revealed the Siddhanta Narottam Das Thakur, who was Champak Manjari. And he revealed his Nitya, which is boiling hot milk for Radharani, because every night Radharani takes hot milk. Remember the story from Garga Samhita about that. So this Guru is rejecting the disciple. He wouldn't give him Siddha Pranali. And so, in other words, the Guru doesn't give Siddha Pranali unless he's knows the disciple inside and out, has absolute trust and love and faith in the disciple, and vice versa. Siddha is not given just any. My Guru had many disciples, not many hundreds of devotees. He only gave Siddha to a few. He even had Babaji disciples he didn't give Siddha to. So it's not a standard thing. Okay, I have a Guru, a Babaji Guru, I get Siddha. You have to qualify. The Guru knows the heart and knows the situation. So it's a very unusual situation of rejecting a Guru. Rejecting a Guru is described in Mahabharata, Jaya Radhe. Mahabharata and also Goswami Granths describes conditions to reject a Guru. Rejecting a Guru is usually, Guru rejecting a disciple is a very rare thing. It's only if the disciple becomes a Vaishnava Aparadi, Vaishnava Nindak, an offender, or he offends Krishna, or he starts preaching atheism, or Sahatyavad. He starts saying, you should Hare Krishna, take bhang, and then this is spreading the wrong idea. This is not the teaching of Six Goswamis. So the Guru may reject that disciple. So what happens? So the question: what happens to that rejected disciple? Well, bhakti, he has a seed of bhakti in his heart. that guru gave him the seed of bhakti. So that bhakti, his insurance is the seed of bhakti. Now, what happens to that person is up to Krishna. Because he may be bad, he may reject the guru, the guru may reject him because he's a very big offender of Vaishnavas and Krishna. But he may rectify himself and come back. May do fasting and come back, but the guru's already signed him off. He's already rejected him. But he can start practicing bhakti, and maybe Krishna will send him to another guru to pick up. But that guru is not a Sadguru, because the Sadguru will be forever. But the Sadguru is the guru gives your Siddhanta, and the guru doesn't give Siddhanta unless it's a trusted disciple. He knows the character inside and out, the heart, the idea. So that's why it takes some time. Yes, he gets prerana. He gets prerana from the heart. I should give, this person is asking for Siddha Pranali and Manjari Bhav, and so then if he tunes into the Samasti Guru and Paramatma and Vaita Prabhu and his own Gurudev, and they say no, so he says, wait a little, he'll say, wait a little. Like people used to go to Natadas Babaji, and and asked Siddha Pranali. I said, no, you wait a little longer. They come back in 3 months, Jaya Radhe. Can I Siddha Pranali? A little longer. In the beginning, he was very liberal with Western devotees coming for Siddha Pranali, but after some time, he became more strict. He's very not so strict, in that mercy gives freely. But he said, come back, because I know someone particularly, Western devotee, that got initiated, and after a year, he said, come back, mate. He said, when? Maybe a year. After a year, he went back. He said, a little longer. Because Guru knows, he knows by the vision of Krishna, he knows what's the scene. So the person who's been rejected by Guru, but yes, his bhakti hasn't been rejected. His seed of bhakti is in the field of his heart, but he cut off the branch, he cut off all the branches, but the root is there, the bhakti mula. The mula of bhakti is in his chitta, it's nitya. But he cut off the branches and the stems, so it doesn't show any evidence of bhakti because he's making aparad. He's an aparad, so that proves that bhakti is sleeping in his heart, not manifesting her effect, prabhav on him. Because if bhakti is in your heart, you always get the right thing to do, and always behave properly, and always act in a loving way. Because bhakti is composed of two energies. One is Ladni Shakti, which is love and proper behavior, and the other is Samvit Shakti, which is wisdom and knowledge and understanding how to behave. So a proper devotee will never become rejectable by the Guru. It's impossible, unheard of. It's very rarely discussed even in Shastra. But one verse, Mahabharata's huge book, 100,000 verses, one verse about rejecting disciple, rejecting Guru, or rejecting disciple. It goes both ways. So he's talked about Saul, but the Guru is a little harder, because he's representing the whole Siddhanta and the whole Vaishnavism in totality. So if his disciple is misrepresenting Vaishnavism and an offender to Vaishnavism, then the Guru, it's his duty to publicly reject this person. He's not connected with me, because this is told in Shastra. The disciple can reject the Guru on certain conditions, and Guru can reject the disciple under certain conditions. This is one of the conditions. But he hasn't been rejected by Bhakti Devi or by Bhaktivatsal Govindaji Krishna. Okay, you're a nonsense. Maybe this whole life you're going to suffer. You're going to suffer from your offenses. You won't come back to Bhakti again. I've seen people like this. I'm 47 years practicing Bhakti. I've seen Garbhadas come, and they're gone. They've been gone. They're out. They left in 1980, 70, and they're totally covered by Maya. If they're even still alive, they haven't gone. Shalega, Golok Prapti or whatever, some Prapti, somewhere Prapti. So the Bhakti will show its prabhav, but maybe next life. Because Bhakti is Nitya. Is that okay? Don't become like that. That's not nice. Be a good girl. Don't be nonsense. Okay, what's going on here? Yes. That's a nice question. Good question. Yeah. Go get us. Go get some asanas. Get some asanas. Go get some asanas. There's one for the veranda, the Baba in the veranda, and for this lady in the kitchen. So, questions? You're a new face. Hello, welcome. Nice to see you. How can I serve you? Have any questions?
No, I just.
Okay, great. Enjoy. Yeah.
Radhe Radhe.
Right.
My question is if there is some difference between Shiva and Sadashiva.
Sadashiva, Shiva. Among acharyas, they say the two most difficult tattvas to understand are Shiva tattva and Guru tattva. Because Guru tattva is Sakshadari, but he's also Martya. He's also a material body, but he's Sakshadari. So, and Shiva tattva, because Shiva has Panchamukhi form. There's 5 forms of Shiva, and he has Gyara Rudra. The 5th canto describes there's 11 forms of Shiva for Pralaya, and then there's Panchamukhi. It's very complicated. It's like Vishnu. It's similar to Vishnu. Vishnu is not so easy either. So Sadashiva lives in Sadashiva Loki. It's a Vaikuntha planet. It's a spiritual planet, and the spiritual form of Shiva is Sadashiva. And this Shiva in this world, it's a position. One becomes Shiva by certain bhakti can become Shiva. So this person changes. He's Shiva Tattva. He's not Jiva. He's not Vishnu, not Jiva. So he's functioning in the material world. So he's a little bit affected by material energy. But Sadashiva is totally transcendental. So Vaitacharya, he's Bhagavan. Vaitacharya is Bhagavan. Nityananda is Bhagavan. Chaitanya is Bhagavan. So he has a form of Sadashiva. That's on a Vaikuntha planet, a spiritual planet. Okay. Radhika and Radha Sham, is that the kids? Good deal.
Next Sunday, they will come.
Oh, God. I better get ready. Give you a week's notice. I'll have to lift some weights and get training, Radhika and Radha Sham. Oh, God. Shivanji, you have a question? Yeah.
Maharaj, in Gita, Krishna is telling to Arjuna that kamaste ste rita jnana prapadante na devata, that out of desire of lust and kama, the people of this material world worship many devatas. And in Bhagavatam, Krishna is rejecting the fact that you don't worship, telling Nand Baba and Yashoda Mai in 10th canto that you don't worship Indra. Indra does not take any offerings of yours, so you worship Giriraj Maharaj.
Yeah,
and
right.
In Govil Lilamrit, we are seeing that Krishna is himself worshipping 5 Panch Devtas. So people are asking me that if Krishna is worshipping in Govind Lilamrit, if Krishna is worshipping Ganeshji and Shivji and etc., so why he is rejecting in Bhagavatam? If we understand that Gita is for conditioned soul, Bhagavatam is not for conditioned souls. So why is that Krishna is...
Bhagavatam is also for conditioned souls. What about us? Nityam Nashtapreshu Bhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevya Bhagavad Utamasukhe Bhakti Bhavati Naishti. You want to have Nishta Bhakti, you have to study Bhagavatam every day, otherwise you won't be Nishta. You'll never get the Nishta. You'll stay in Arthanivati forever. Bhagavatam is the key to Nishtita Bhakti. It's clearly told on the page of Bhagavatam, 1st canto. Nityam Bhagavata Sevya. So, there's different forms for Krishna. Krishna and Leela is one thing, and Krishna as Kurukshetra, there's Mathura Krishna, there's Dwarka Krishna, there's Vrindavan Krishna. Vrindavan Krishna is Purnatam Bhagavan. Mathura Krishna is Purnatara Bhagavan, and Dwarka Krishna is Purna Bhagavan. So the most complete aspect of Bhagavan Sri Krishna is in Vrindavan. It's totally Nara Lila. It's totally human-like Lila. So human beings 5,000 years ago in Brajmanda, and even right now today, they have a Gopal in their temple. They worship Gopal. But they also go to Shani on Saturday, worship Shani Maharaj, and they worship Surya Narayan Bhagavan. They worship Chandadev, they worship Varuna, they worship Indra. That's all part of the human aspect. You see, this is the beautiful, this is the Madhurya aspect of Krishna. His Lila Madhurya, Rupa Madhurya, Vena Madhurya, Prema Madhurya, that's only Krishna in Vrindavan. What's beautiful about, Krishna driving a chariot on the battlefield covered with mud, covered with horse, stuff. It's like showed Mahabharata, he's all covered with horses, backside what comes out of the horse, And they're not just, they're not conservated. So it's immediately described in Mahabharata about Krishna driving a chariot. It's amazing. What Krishna will do for a servant. He's driving a chariot. A charioteer driver sits down underneath the ass of the horses. The chariot is high. The driver's down there. And Arjuna steps on his shoulders, steps on Krishna's shoulder with his foot. He's at the feet of Arjuna. Right shoulder, go right with the chariot, go left. Because he has to stay down, because he can't. If he gets hit, then it goes, the war is finished. So the person in the chariot will get struck before a charioteer. So that's not a Madhurya Rupam of Krishna. That's Aishwarya Rup. It's Madhurya in one sense, but so Vrindavan, go into the Amrita. You're only getting part of the ball game. As Govinda Amrita also explains, all the devotees come down every day, and Uttar goes to Lila, and they worship Krishna. Indra, Brahma, Shiva, they all come down and offer a full arti to Krishna, and Uttar goes to Lila. And Krishna's leaning on the shoulder and says, well, when are they going to finish? What is all these mantras? I think they're from Rig Veda. I heard sometime Gargamuni chant these things. I don't know what. And then Subal said, what are they talking about? I think it's Sanskrit or something like that. I don't know. They're not speaking Brajbhasha. It's too. It sounds nice, but when they get over it, we gotta go to Barsana. I gotta see Radharani. The cows go through Barsana, on the way to Nandagram. So they're all worshiping him. Full arti, big, huge charmer whisk, and they drop him on the ground later. The cowboys figure, look at this charmer whisk. Three guys had to pick it up the whole. Wow! And they just throw it. They just pick up some leaves and pick up a banana leaf and thank Krishna a banana leaf. They don't know how to all this stuff. Big gold handle. They didn't strike it. So with Krishna and Gita and Kamastai Rita Gyana Prabhupada, all that stuff, that he's preaching. He's acting as God, the teacher, the guru. Adi Guru Krishna, Bhagavan Krishna. He taught Brahma, he taught Narada, he taught everybody. So there he's teaching Arjuna, he's acting as Guru. And Bhagavatam 11th canto, he's acting as Guru, teaching Uddhava. But in Braj, he's not teaching anybody anything. How can you teach? You can't even write. The only teacher in Vrindavan is Radharani. Radhikara Prema Guru Ami Shishinath. So Krishna is in Radharani's praying school of praying. And she's teaching him, hey, you're not behaving right. You have to behave like this, you have to love me like this and serve me like this. This is real love. Love is selfless. And love doesn't recognize your faults of the beloved. Even your cause for breaking the relationship, love keeps going on. So why do you keep running away, breaking our relationship? What kind of love is this? Ramachandravi, I never break my love for you. I'm always in love with you, no matter what happens. Ashrishiva parutam panashtam darshtam mamatam krutava yatatadava vilapamatpranas. You can crush my raise and break my broken heart by being right in front of me, kissing another gopi. Krishna's walking along with Chandravi and sees Radharani and kisses Chandravi. All right, okay. That's prema. Even there's cause for breaking the relationship, it never happens. Well, this is the Rahasya Leela of Krishna Vrindavan. So the people you're talking with, it's hard for them to understand this. It's the most secret thing. But Bhagavatam's for conditioned souls. The verse in the end of Rasa Leela says anyone who's infected with what is that verse? How's it go?
Rudroga.
Vikriti tam brajavadu virasik.
Vargena chakalpita.
Oh, I got this book here. It's a good deal. Okay, let's see it. Brain's not working today. Mine's really sleepy. There it is, 260. Okay, Radhe Sham, Jaya Radhe. Vikriti tam vrajuvadu biridam chavishno shadan vito nushunyad atavarna yedya bhaktim param bhagavati pratilabhya kamam ridrogam ashravapinot yakchirena dira. So the Bhagavatam is for conditioned souls. This is spoken for conditioned souls. It's spoken in Kali Yuga. Sri Maharaj is the beginning of Kali Yuga. It started with Sri Maharaj. Kali Yuga, so this is wrong. The Bhagavatam is for conditioned souls. But the 10th canto is for liberated souls. But that's also not true, because he's saying, Bhaktim Pram Bhagavati Pratilabhite Kamam Ridrogam. Rogi means disease. Yogi means yogi, and Bhogi means enjoyer. So Ridroga means disease of the heart. What is the main disease of the heart? Mukhi Rog. Kam. What does Kam mean?
Lust.
Means lust for man and woman, and Kam means desire. It also means desire.
Yes.
Anything other than Krishna's service is Kam. Because Krishna's service is bhakti, bhav and prem. Anyone who faithfully hears or describes Krishna's intimate affairs with the gopis, Braja gopis, will attain param bhakti, bhagavati. They'll attain param bhakti for Bhagavan. What is that param bhakti? It's Madhurya bhakti, Braja Madhurya bhakti, Parakiya bhav of Radha and the gopis for Krishna. This is the lesson of Shukadeva Goswami in Bhagavatam, 10th canto, chapter 33, verse 39. And so first comes bhakti in your heart, then lust goes out. Now, first you have to become purified. You have to become purified, then you can read Krishna book. Then you can read Krishna's intimate pastime, Vilakutsmanji, Radhasini, Vinadeva, Bhavnamrita, etc. That's not what Shukadeva Goswami says. He says you're full of lust. But you have to be dira. Dira means you're controlling your senses. So most devotees control their senses, but they're still full of lust. Your senses are in control means you're not following any principles. You're a dog. Dogs don't control their senses. They don't follow principles. Devotees are dira. The dira says, Redrogam Achirena dira. Dira means sober. And sober Tikas this verse by Mukunda Goswami, who's a disciple of Krishna's Kaviraj, Krishna's Kaviraj disciple, Mukunda Goswami, it's in Bhamaraj's Nectar Devotion. And Jiva, they say, dira means senses are under control. So if someone's a grihasta and has a wife and he's enjoying with his wife, he's following the four principles, his senses are under control. He's not going to a brothel, he's not going anywhere, he has a wife and he's doing his dharma. So he can read this. He can read Rasa Leela, he can read Jula Leela, Kunja Leela, read all that. And first the bhakti comes in the heart, then the lust goes. The ink is in the glass. So how do you get rid of the ink? Pour more ink in the glass and get ink out of the glass? No, you put the opposite. The ink is black, you pour something white in. The ink is poisonous and black and smelly. The milk is amrit, Dud amrit. It's white and sweet, and you don't even need honey. You don't it's good though. Also. But I don't need honey in the milk. You just drink it. You get cow's milk. It tastes sweet as it is. And you get it right from other cow. It's very sweet. I used to go to the Goshaw and eat a nagari in the morning and go and get milk from the cow, and I go, Hare Krishna. Instant offering. I said, hey, Tat Tulsi Drum. I just looked at it. I said, Tat Tulsi Drum. That was my mantra, was a Tulsi leaf. I said, Jai Krishna. It's bubbly, it's foaming because it's bubbling in the bucket. It's so sweet. And a half hour later, that sweetness goes. That sweetness is reserved for the bacha, or the calf, because he's like sweets. Baby calf likes sweets. So when the baby gets it, and then he gets the sweetest part of the milk. And later, when first they put the baby there, get the mother prime the pump or whatever, and he sucks on the mother's udder, and then but he gets all the sweet stuff and he takes as much as he can. Then the Gopal pulls the calf away, and he takes the milk. It's not sweet. You have to add sugar and honey and all this stuff. So that's Sri Krishna's arrangement. Same milk. You take it from the cow within 1 or 2 minutes. It's very sweet. You leave it in the bucket for 5 minutes, 10 minutes. Take it the cup. It won't be the same. I did an experiment. Scientific conclusion. Radharani worshipped Suryadev, Chandrali worshipped Durga, Nanabhava and Krishna worshipped Lakshmi Narayan. They had Lakshmi Narayan deities. So they all worship Vishnu, Shiva, Parvati. It's like going on today. But the Hindus are worshiping these deities where they may be Shuddha Bhaktas also. They're not mutually exclusive. If you worship Devatas, it doesn't mean you can't be a pure devotee of Krishna. The Gopis are a prime example. We're supposed to become Gopi-like. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, Gopi Bhava Angikar. Gopi Bhava Angikar means accept Gopi Bhava. It means become a Gopi. You have to have Gopi Bhava. The first and most important thing is Gopi Bhava. You have a piece of paper with Sri Pranali on it, it doesn't go anywhere without Bhava. Car doesn't go anywhere without an engine. You got a car, fancy seats and fancy red paint job. Got a red paint job and golden seats and all kinds of stuff. There's no engine, you're not going anywhere. You have very, very beautiful, fancy Manjari soup, but there's no Bhav, no Gopi Bhav. Good luck. Yam yam vavisran bhavam chachat yanti kaliram tam tam evati kontaya sadatad bhava bhavita. What is that bhav? That's sada bhav. Sadatad bhava. That bhav, that Gopi Bhav, you're always cultivating a Gopi Bhav. Mood of being humble servant, loyal humble servant of Radharani's Madhurya Rati and her Kunja Leela and other Leelas. So the Bhav is the most important thing. So let the people worship Devatas, but everything depends on consciousness. If one person does an action by the right consciousness, it doesn't bind him. Another person does the same action with wrong consciousness, he's bound. That's the teaching in Gita. 5th chapter, 6th chapter, Karma Yoga, it's called Karma Sannyas Yoga. The art of living, quote unquote. The art of living is lived by the teaching of Gita, which they don't even teach, Anyway, Radha Shyam. Thank you. You got good questions. You got another one. You don't like my answer. Come on. Oh, wait. I wasn't going. Go ahead, ask another question.
Maharaj, in
Yeah.
1022, we are seeing that the gopis, which are the rishis in previous Treta Yuga, Dandakarani, they are turning into gopis and they are praying to Katyani Devi to give them Nandagopasutam Devi Patin Me Kurte Nama. You give me Krishna as your husband.
Yeah.
So Maharaj, I heard that they are also participating in the Ras Leela.
Yeah, that's what they want. That was their sankalpa.
Yes. So Maharaj, we usually heard that Krishna is acting as a paramour, in a parikeras. So if Krishna is married, you are accepting these gopis as their wedded husband. So how is parikeras prominent in that?
Krishna accepted the kanyas, and it's called Gandharva Vivaha. Gandharva means you just exchange. They were one day in the forest, and the gopi bought a garland, bought 2 garlands, and offered one to Krishna. And so, and Krishna, she offered one to Krishna, and Krishna, the other one offered her. So we're married. Exchanging garlands, we're married. There's no fire, no witness, no Shakshi, no Ganapati, no Shakshi, no Deva, no puja, no fire, no yoga. So it's like a play marriage, just to show people that he's married, because they had that mixture. They weren't in a pure Paragya mood, like Radharani. They were more a Swakya mood. They want to be a husband, but there's no husbands here. Krishna, no Gopi has a husband except Krishna. So with them, he proved it that they're my wives, like Gandhara marriage. What kind of marriage he did with Radharani? He married Radharani Bandiravan. Brahma came down to the marriage. It's a Leela. So Krishna, Bandiravan, Brahma married Radha and Krishna. That's just like a play. It's not reality. So they when they saw Radha, they wanted to be Sita. They already had the Stairati from last life guru or whatever. They had a Stairati and Madhurya Rati, the sages in Dandakaranya. So when they saw, if they saw Ram with Lakshman, they wouldn't get excited because it wouldn't be Udigban to stimulate their Stairati. It's like Lakshman and Ram is like Sakyabhav, or it's like friendship. And their Stairati in their heart is Madhurya Bhav. They want to have a conjugal relation with Bhagavan, Krishna. So when they saw Ramachandra with Sita, wow, this is nice, She looks so beautiful, and she's there. Sita's Ram is like controlled by Sita like anything. And she looks really beautiful with him, and so they had this in their mind. They said, "Well, I want to be like a girlfriend of Krishna, like Sita is a wife of Ramachandra." So, with his eyes, Ramachandra looked at the rishis, and his eyes said, "Bhavatu, let it be." Bhavatu means let it be. It'll be. So then they took birth from womb of gopis. No Sunday Satsang is complete without the soundtrack. He's in charge of the soundtrack. Somebody asked me, "Who's that kid?" I said, "He's a pure devotee of Vishnu, Krishna. Don't make a farat. Watch your mouth." Okay, Bolo, Radhe. Orkya. Someone else? Dasana Das, what are you doing? Wake up. Have any questions? Okay, good.
You said the Upadeshamrita was 10th or 11th?
What did you say?
Paribhasha Sutra of Upadeshamrita.
Paribhasha Sutra, we're going to read it today, we're going to discuss that today. It's number 11. There's 9-page purport. 9-page purport for one sloka. Wow, must be an important sloka. What is it? I don't know. Wish I knew it. If you say it, maybe I heard about it. We'll hear about it also. Right now. He has a nice smile, huh? He doesn't smile much. When he smiles, it's nice. He got too much tension. He got 2 houses to pay bills on, and a wife and kids. And some of these single women, single men, they're smiling. They're happy. They just have Krishna in their heart and Guru in their heart. Okay, well, we don't need anything else. We're good. The reason I've seen is like, I smile, he got a beautiful smile. Anyway, life is like that. It's a heavy burden, man. Okay, questions? Sir, you're warming up for questions? Okay, well.
In the Panchatattva, when we chant Panchatattva, Sri Krishna Chaitanya, right? Sri Krishna Chaitanya is his sannyas name, right?
Yes, it is.
So, but if you look at the Panchatattva, he has always long hair. So is there a special reason behind it?
Oh, because, yeah.
It's not actually his form of the sannyas. It's something. It's some very different appearance, right? So when we
Yes.
say Sri Krishna Chaitanya, and we look at the Panchatattva, and we see, wow, this is Mahaprabhu with hair.
Okay, yeah, I got it. I think I got
Yeah.
it.
So is there a deeper meaning behind it? That's what I want to ask.
So he's asking a question. In some Gaudiya circles, they chant a Panchatattva mantra, which is attributed to Jagannath Das Babaji or someone, I don't know where it started, but Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Radha Kunda Shiva and Sadashiva. So the question is, this name Sri Krishna Chaitanya, this Advaitins, when they take sannyas, they get named Chaitanya. Chaitanya is the name for Advaitins, not Vaishnava. Vaishnava sannyas, they don't use the name Chaitanya. So he's Sri Krishna. So he has the name Sri Krishna Chaitanya in this mantra, and we worship him with this mantra, sing kirtan this mantra. But we see the Murti form of Gauranga has long hair, Nityananda has long hair. So how's it match here? So there's a couple answers. One answer is that sannyas lila is a naimittic lila. There's something called nitya lila and naimittic lila. Nitya lila means eternal, and naimittic lila means occasional. So in somewhere, wherever, people have different ideas about this. My Guru Dev said that Mahaprabhu's nitya lila is only in the material world. There's nowhere in Goswami books it says that nitya lila is in the spiritual world. Even I was reading in Bhakti Sundara Jiva Goswami, he said that the Yamuna flows in the spiritual world, but not Ganga. Ganga doesn't flow there. Ganga is represented in Vrindavan by Mansi Ganga, a very cool part of Bhakti Sundara by Sri Jiva Goswami Pad. So he said there's no Ganga in the spiritual world, which makes what it means. There's no Ganga, because Mahaprabhu's whole Leela is on the bank of the Ganga. It means Mahaprabhu's not in the spiritual world. His Leela is nitya in the material world, going from planet to planet to planet. This verse in Bhakti Sundara saying there's no Ganga, there's only appears as Mansi Ganga, which Krishna created for seva of his father. So this is mythically a Mahaprabhu taking sannyas. But those people that many people they worship the Nitya Lila of Gauranga, and because the Murti is representing Nitya Lila, the Murti worships Nitya Lila. Like Krishna also shaved his head. He went to Sanipati Muni's Gurukul, he shaved his head. We don't see Murti's laser, maybe it's out in Ujjain or whatever. Ujjain where he went to Gurukul. But there's no Murti of Krishna who shaved his head staying next to Radharani. It doesn't work, Some guys, bald-headed guys have a girlfriend with long hair, that's a different thing, but Krishna's not that kind of guy, He had long, black, wavy hair, nice, So we worship Gauranga in his Nitya form, with hair. So the sannyas, this gentleman is saying, so that's one thing, that we worship Nitya Lila Gaur. And there's some schools of Gaudiya Vaishnavism, they don't worship, just like we Gaudiyas say that we worship Krishna only in Vrindavan. Kavi Karmapar wrote a book, Ananda Vrindavan Champu. It's all about the pastimes of Krishna only in Vrindavan, not Mathura, no Dwarka Lila. But later, Kavi Karmapar wrote that book first, later Jiva Goswami wrote a book, Gopal Champu, and in there is Dwarka Lila. Mathura and Dwarka Lila in there. So he included it. But Kavi Karnapur was too painful to take Krishna out of Vrindavan. Krishna's not coming out of Vrindavan, he stays here. Because the form that goes out of Vrindavan is not the original form of Krishna. So this is very Katin Tattva. So there's some groups that chant Sri Krishna Chaitanya, but there are other groups like my group, Advaita Parivar and Gadadhara Parivar and Nityananda Parivar, which is a big group. It's like 90% or 95% of the Gaudiya Vaishnavas chant this Panchatattva mantra. Shri Gauranga Nityananda Shri Advaita Chandra Gadadhara Shiva Sri Gaur Bhaktivinoda. So there is Gauranga, with long hair is Gauranga. So you Sri Krishna Chaitanya, it's nice, but we chant different mantra. So, I was trying to say there's some group of Gaudiya Vaishnavas that worship Nitya Lila, like Siddha Krishnadas in Gaura Govinda Gutika, he describes parallel Leelas, Gaura Lila and Krishna side by side. Just like there's some group of Gaudiya Vaishnavas, they're a very, very small group, they worship Krishna and Sakyarati, and they have Astakali Lila books about Krishna with the Sakas. There's no Radha Kunda. Krishna goes to Mahanidhi Ganga with the cows, or Vandiravan with the cows and cowboys. He doesn't sneak away. He comes to Radha Kunda for 6 hours. He's just all there. And tells us 2 o'clock he's bathing and having water sports with the cowboys and Mahanidhi Ganga and this and that. Right? Where's Radha Kunda? I have the books in English. It's called Prana Rasa Arnava or something. So it's called Parakosha. The spiritual world is different compartments. Spiritual reality. So whatever way you worship Bhagavan, you'll have your compartment there. So some Gaudiya Vaishnavas, Bengalis especially, they love Gaur like immensely. They don't even care so much about Krishna or Radharani, they love Gaur. So they'll go to a place where Gaur has the Nitya, there's a spiritual realm for them, or there's a material planet where Gaur Lila is going on where he doesn't take sannyas. It's possible. So that they can worship 24 hours a day in Mayapur, Navadvi Garanga, with long hair. All these varieties are possible, because they're described by acharyas in their books also. So we have to accommodate all this together. Can you fit it all together, what I'm saying? So Sri Garanga Nityananda is the mantra most everyone chants, and that long hair and Garanga as the name goes together. But he took sannyas as a fact, but admittedly it's only occasional. So I Jaya Radhe. What more can you say? There's a lot of discrepancies. It's because of discrepancies that I moved on. I found a clearer path on this side of the pasture. Grass is greener on the other side. That's my individual experience, but that's, up to the individual. But spiritually, everything's subjective anyway. It's not objective, it's subjective. Based on your own swabhav and your sthairati, it's all individual subjective spirituality. So, question, you have a question? Your head's too heavy, you're holding it up, or what happened? Come in more, you're hanging half out the door. You're blocking the door. Please move inside. Okay. So more questions. Yes? Oh. Oh yeah. What happened? Wake up.
After breakfast, Radharani and all gopis, all people of Vrindavan, when Krishna goes to the forest with cows, they look at them, everybody. And Radharani, it's written in Govinda Milamrita, I think. They exchanged four sidelong glances. 4. Why 4? Exchange with Krishna.
They exchanged 4 sidelong glances? I remember that point.
I don't know, maybe I'm wrong.
No, I don't know. When Krishna's going for Gochar and Leela, Radha Gopis are looking at him and watching him, and Krishna and Radharani exchanged 4 sidelong glances so why sidelong so no one else sees it, like looking like this. Because she's married to somebody else, you don't want to just look straight at her. Right? What are you looking at? 4 times you're looking at one. You got something going on with this girl here. What's going on, man? So I don't know about that, but that's why there's sidelong glances, because it's a secret affair. Because sidelong glance, you don't know what the guy's looking at. He's looking at a tree, looking at a bird, looking at a cow. But the person he's looking at knows he's looking at her. So then she casts sidelong glance at him, and somebody sees Radharani's sidelong glance. Oh, she's looking at trees, looking at cows, looking at birds. She's looking at Krishna. She's not only looking at Krishna, she's looking into Krishna's heart. This is an important thing. Sidelong glance, I look at you, I say, I can't see her. What's her? I don't want to see it. Yeah, I can't, but when Radharani is sidelong glance, she goes into his heart. His eye is a gateway to the heart. Right? If you love someone, you can't hide it. It's in your eyes, you know. You're all sparkly eyes, you know. Wow, I'm in love. So Radharani looks at Krishna with her eyes, and says, and she looks 4 times because she says, I'll meet you, I'll meet you, I'll meet you, I'll meet you. And so she's telling him 4 times they're going to meet you. And Krishna's telling, yes, 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 yes. That's why they exchanged 4 glances. I don't remember that. But if by chance it's there, which maybe I can't remember everything, if they're exchanging 4 glances, Radharani's eyes are saying, are you going to meet me? Are you going to meet me? Are you going to meet me? Because you're so much Kanti Dabab, so much eagerness. Krishna says, yes, yes, yes. That's affirmative. Very convincing. Now you got me, my curiosity after class. I'm going to come into Rita to look it up for fun. Either way, the question is a possibility, even if it's not there. So, because, no problem. Right. Who else? Somebody didn't ask a question. Some people asked twice. She asked twice, you asked once. Somebody, Sri Balaramji? No? Ask in Telugu or whatever. We got translators here. What's your language? What's your native language? Native language.
Native language is Marathi.
Marathi? Oh, you don't know. Yeah, these guys are South Indian Brahmins. Vishakhapatnam? That's Tamil Nadu? Andhra Pradesh. You're Marathi. Tukaram Baba. Pandharpur. Nice. That's right, I thought you were one of these guys. One of the Vishakhapatnam guys. Okay, question.
I read in your article about the Nimbarkis and the Gaudiyas, and you write that there are similarities between the Gaudiyas and Nimbarkas, and that they believe in the Dasamula, the 10 cardinal points of Gaudiya philosophy. My question is, what are these 10 cardinal points of Gaudiya philosophy, Dasamula?
Nimbarkis believe in the Dasamula, these 10 points, but so do Gaudiyas, and so all Vaishnavas believe in these Dasamula. It's just about the identity of Jiva, identity of Krishna, the world. That basic tattva, the Gita, are summarized in Dasamula. It's not some esoteric thing. So the question is, the Nimbarki philosophy they follow, they study the Dasamula. What are the 10 truths? Mula means root. 10 roots of truth. The absolute truth is Bhagavan. The Jiva is the eternal. And all these kind of points are in there. And the purpose of human life is to serve Bhagavan and to be a servant. That's basic tattva. Every Vaishnava group has the same tattva. Nothing special about that. Radhe. Any more questions? Okay, my turn. I have a question for all of you. Is it possible, this is a continuation, is it possible to go to the spiritual world if you still have personal desires? Yes or no? Yes. What do you say, Sri Balaramji? Sadhaka has personal desires. Can you go to the spiritual world?
Can you please repeat it for once?
What are you saying? What's she saying?
Can you please repeat the question?
The question is, if a devotee, sadhaka means a practitioner of sadhana, sadhaka. If a devotee still has personal desires, can he or she attain mukti, liberation, go to the spiritual world? She says no.
Personal desire, no. If we have greed for attaining...
No, don't be quiet. Say, your answer is no. Thank you. No or yes. You don't need a purport.
Yes.
No or yes?
Yes.
Yes.
What's the proof? What's the praman? Bolo.
Bhaktivinoda Thakur in his bhajan is saying that
No, quote Goswami books. Goswami books are universally accepted. In this arena, we quote Goswami books, Bhagavatam, Mahabharata, Ramayana, Goswami books, books of Bali, Vijayabhushan, Vishwanath Chakravarti, like that. No contemporary books. We don't pay much attention. We respect it, but we want to hear topic from Bhagavatam. Or commentary, or the Goswami books are all commentaries on Bhagavatam. This is the Mukhya Praman's Bhagavatam. Paramahamsa Samitam is Bhagavatam. So and so about said this, said that. We all respect that, but it's not solid.
When Maharaj wants a kingdom higher than Brahma, he got it. He has the personal desire and he achieved this from Maharaj.
What are you saying?
Dhruv Maharaj has a desire to get the kingdom greater than Lord Brahma. So he worshipped and he got it. And he went back.
Yeah, but that kingdom is not the spiritual world. It's Dhruva Loka. Okay, what is the question? The question is, can a devotee who's worshiping Krishna, Vishnu, Ram, can he go to the spiritual world if he still has personal desires? And the answer is yes. What? And the answer is given, the answer is given by Rupa Goswami Pad in Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu. First wave, Purva Sindhu or whatever, Eastern Division, Chapter 2, verse 57. One, 2, 57. Excuse me, 56. First in 55. Well, first, this is actually a commentary. This is a whole section here talking about mukti. And the first way, second chapter, verses, all different kinds of mukti, Vaishnava mukti. It starts verse 30, it goes to 50, 60. So you mentioned a verse in 28th verse. 28th verse, Rupa Goswami Pad quoted a verse from Bhagavatam, because all the books are commentaries in Bhagavatam, about, this is Kapil Muni. This is Bhagavatam, 3rd Canto, chapter 29, verse 13. Salokya Sharsi Samipya Sarupya Katavam Apiyuta Diyamanam Nagrinati Bina Mat Sevanam Jana. Kapil Muni says, a pure devotee does not accept any kind of liberation, Salokya Sharsi Samipya Sarupya, even if they're offered by Krishna, if they don't come with service. So there's one type of liberation called Salokya Mukti, which means to go live on the same planet. So there are some devotees, first of all, let's clear it up. To get liberation to the spiritual world, you have to have prema. But there's three kinds of prema. So one kind of, he described, all those three kinds of prema are described here in Bhakti Rasamrita by Rupa Goswami. So there are devotees that are attracted by the beauty of the Vaikuntha, the opulence, and they want to live there on that planet. They want to go back to Godhead. Because they're suffering here, misery, and everyone's poor and they're poor also, or whatever. And they're suffering, So they're worshipping Krishna, go back to Godhead. To go back to God means Salokya Mukti. Or they think that Vishnu or Krishna are all really beautiful, beautiful bodies, and they like to have a beautiful body like him, live in the spiritual world. So they want Srupi Mukti. They want that. They want that. That's their personal desire. I want to be. It's called Hangrapasana. Some people, part of sadhana bhakti is Hangrapasana, where you identify with Bhagavan. You want to be Bhagavan, but you can't be Bhagavan. But you can look. You can have blue. You get a blue body. You get a blue body. But you don't get Srivats. I got the golden lion Srivats. I'm Vishnu. You're a Vishnu Das, but you don't want to be a Das. So you hang out. So you can go to the spiritual world, have a form like Vishnu. That's Sarupya Mukti. And it includes Salokya also, because you have to live there. And there you go, Salokya, and get any kind of form. You can just chill out in Vaikuntha and be happy eternally. Salokya. Or Sharshti, you can have a golden palace. Other people may be in Vaikuntha with an ordinary cheap palace. But yeah, lavish palace, just like Vishnu. That's called Sharshti Mukti. Have the same opulence and wealth as Vishnu. Sharshti means wealth. Sarupya, Salokya, Sharshti, and Samipya. You mean like Vishnu's house is a 101 Main Street. So you want to have your house on 102 Main Street. Samipya means I want to be near the Lord. I didn't say I want to serve the Lord, I just want to live near Him. Because you live in a posh neighborhood, you get more prestige, you know. You live in a posh neighborhood, posh means rich people. You live in a posh neighborhood, you get more prestige. Where do you live? I live in Malabar Hill, Bombay. I live in Khar. I live in Bandra, on the top of the hill. Oh, you're a movie star? Yeah, I'm a movie star. I live in New Friends Colony, or whatever, you know, Delhi. Wow, gee, I live in Old Delhi. Oh, Delhi. Oh, you're stinky, but I have a 5 crore house. No, but you have a 5 crore house in Old Delhi, no good, you know. So location is important. So that means Samipya Mukti. I want to be near the Lord. So Kapila Muni says, I don't want to be near the Lord. I don't want to go to Goloka. I don't want to go if there's no seva. Say Vina Matsevana Jana. Vina means what it doesn't mean like, you know, Narada Muni Bhajana Vina. That's it's Vina. Vina means devoid of, without, no seva. Not your seva. I don't have your seva, Vishnu. I don't want it. You offer me no thanks. You offer the Jew, he said, okay, you can take it. But you don't fit these 2 categories of praying, so you have to go to Dhruva. We'll hear those 2 categories. There's 3 categories of praying. So it's possible to go Vaikuntha with material desires. Not material desires, personal desires. But they're personal, spiritual desires. I don't want a golden palace in Malabar Hill. I want a golden palace in Vaikuntha. I want a beautiful, dashing body with long black hair. And it's parade around Delhi and pick up girls and stuff. I want a beautiful body in Vaikuntha. And everybody says, oh, you're so handsome. But everyone's so handsome there. What's the big thing, you know? And so I have a beautiful Srupi Mukti, or I have your house is fantastic. How many crores? It's got 500 crores, man. It's made of solid gold. Yeah, it's made of solid gold, man. The steps, the banisters, everything's rugged, everything's gold. So that means Salokya Mukti, Sharshti Mukti, opulence. So Kapila says, Bina Mat Sevana what is it? Najana. A person doesn't want that. Now, what are the 3 kinds of praying? All this fits together here. It's getting really exciting now. You excited? So there's 3 types of praying. This is the keynote here. First way, 2nd chapter, verse 56. Sukaishwarya Uttara Sayam Prema Seva Uttara Api. There are 2 varieties of mukti or prema. One is called Sukaishwarya Uttara. Sukaishwarya Uttara, and the other is called Prem Seva Uttara. Uttara means predominated by, characterized by, symptomized by. So one type of mukti is characterized by sukh and Aishwarya, happiness and wealth. That's the people we're just describing. They want the Sharshti Mukti, they want the Sri Mukti. You're beautiful, you'll feel happy. So the others praying seva, they want to go there and do seva. So that's why Kapila Muni is indicating in third canto, 29th verse, whatever it was, 329, whatever, 329, 13. He's saying, I don't want that. I want praying seva type mukti. I want praying seva. I want praying seva uttara. I want liberation where it's predominantly by seva. That's really that's a good form of, that's prema. But so even with personal desire and prema, you can go to Vaikuntha. Is it clear? Clear? But there's a third type of prema. Acha. The third type of prema? What is that prema? Tisra prema, cheese. Well, let's hear about it. So let's see Jiva Goswami's comment on the last verse. Sukha, Aishwarya, happiness, money. Yeah, money, happiness, wealth, gold. In Vaikuntha, I'm loaded. I got a gold Rolls Royce, and I'm cool, you know. Sukha, Aishwarya, Uttara. Are you doing any seva up here? No, what's your seva? I'm chilling out, man. I'm back to God. I got out of that miserable material world. I'm chilling out. I got a gold palace. I got a gold Rolls Royce. You don't serve Vishnu? Well, he's busy. He got so many servants. I'm just chilling out. I'm happy. I'm blissful. I'm happier. Look at this. Because I see those guys doing service in the palace of Vishnu. They're not happy. They're like frowning. And so much hard work mopping the floors and washing the pots. So let's see you Goswami say about this guy. One variety of liberation, mukti, is predominantly by desire for one's own happiness and power, which are naturally found in the spiritual world. The other variety of liberated devotee, his predominant desire is to serve, which according to one's natural prema, which means serve in dasirati, serve in sekirati, serve in vatsalyarati, serve in madhurya-rati. But all four types, but then he said, the third one is the next verse. The third type of prema bhakta is a Gaudiya Vaisnava. This is what Lord Chaitanya came to teach. This, of course, a lot of people when they go back to Godhead Bhav, Lord Chaitanya didn't teach that. So this is verse, first way, chapter 2, next verse 57. He describes the third type of devotee, which we're all aspiring to become like this. Kintu premaika madhurya, jusha ekanti no hari. Naivangi kurvate jatu muktim pancha vidamapi. But there's a third category of devotees that are solely attached to Krishna, to relish supreme madhurya. That's the Gaudiya Vaisnava, relish supreme madhurya. Doesn't talk about seva. If they serve, it's good. They just want to relish supreme. Relishing supreme becomes more relishable as you serve more. Pure devotees tonight, they don't, even these type of devotees, they don't accept liberation. Jiva Goswami says, pure devotees of this Madhurya Bhaktas, Prema Madhurya Bhaktas, they don't even accept Prema Uttara, they don't accept Prema Seva Uttara Bhakti, which is mentioned in the last verse. Because even in Prema Seva Uttara, there's still that way, there's a little desire for happiness in that Prema Seva. This is so far out. So this is the conclusion. He says, however, pure devotee, the Gaudiya Vaisnava, does not desire even that little happiness that comes from praying Seva Uttara Mukti. Wow, that's nice. So there's two verses that explain this mood of pure bhakti, pure prema. Actually, there's three. Actually, there's one purport here. There's one footnote here. So we're going to finish, we're going to describe this third category a little more. I'm first going to backtrack a little bit. There's a footnote here. When we talked about the about these devotees have desire for some independent spiritual desire to enjoy the spiritual world. Their bhakti is not in the category of anyabilashi shunya. So so they have bhakti, they have praying, they went to Vaikuntha, not Kaloka Vrindavan, not Vrindavan Leela, they went to Vaikuntha to serve Vishnu or Ram. But their bhakti is not anyabilashi type. Anyabilashi type bhakti is described in Bhakti Rasmini Sindhu, first wave, chapter 1, verse 11, which is the Paribhasa Sutra of the Bhakti Rasmini Sindhu, the essential verse which the whole book is it's the theme of the whole book. What is pure bhakti? It's Bhakti Rasmini Sindhu, so we have to define pure bhakti. There are 9 pages defining pure bhakti. And no other verse has more than 1 or 2 page purport. Jiva Goswami, purport is about 7 pages, Vishnu is about 2. 9 pages. I gave class on Bhakti Rasmini Sindhu. I went through all these verses of this book. I gave on my website. I spent 11 days, 10 days discussing this verse. 20 hours. All the commentaries and other things and all the... So this is an important verse. You want to learn one verse. It's in my list of 24 verses in my Diksha handbook. Which you never read. Someday, some future day. So it's Anya, who knows the verse? Say it together. Anya virashita shunyam jnana karma yadavritam anukuyena krishnanu shilanam bhakti uttama. The uttam bhakti. There's bhakti and there's uttam bhakti. Uttam bhakti is defined as continuous service. Anu means continuous service or emotions directed towards Krishna. Anukuyena, with a pleasing attitude, mentality. This type of uttam bhakti must be devoid of all desires other than the desire to please Bhagavan. Anya bilashita shunya. Shunya means devoid, empty, no individual, personal, spiritual desire, nothing. It's devoid of all desires other than the desire to please Krishna, and it's not mixed up with jnana or karma or yoga or astrology or etc. Watch out. So that's the thing. That's what is. So this third form of prema, this prema, the Gaudiya Vaisnava, he wants to serve Krishna with love. He doesn't care about going to the spiritual world. He doesn't have any desire. If Krishna takes you there, good. If he doesn't, it's also good. And Lord Chaitanya told that in Shikshastika in the 4th verse. Nadanam najanam sundaram kavitam vajagdisham makame mama jameshwari bhavatad bhakti hartiki. I don't care, Janmi, birth after birth. Because in birth after birth, I'll have my guru with me. Janmi, Prabhu say. The same line is there for Guru and Mahaprabhu. So Mahaprabhu is pointing us to our Sadguru in this verse. Jami, bhakti, he wants to do bhakti, birth after birth. So who are we going to do bhakti with? Who are we going to serve? We're going to serve with Gurudev. In our meditative Sakhi Swarup and our Sadhaka group, if we take another birth in this world. So this is very nice. So Lord Chaitanya, the teaching Lord Chaitanya doesn't teach we should go back to God. He says, stay here, be happy. Hare Krishna, be happy. They say that, right? Well, you're saying Hare Krishna, be happy, but you want to go there. You want Sukhaishvara Uttara Mukti. Is your Hare Krishna make you happy? It's not working here. You gotta go there to find happiness. What kind of bhakti is that? Hare Krishna, be happy. Get me out of here. Get me out of here. Let me out of here. The pure devotees Bhagavan, Radha and Krishna, they don't care where they go. There's a verse in the 6th canto. Shiva is preaching to Parvati after she cursed Chitraketu. And Shiva said, you know who you cursed? He's not an ordinary Devita. He's a pure devotee. He's a Shuddha Bhakti Vishnu. You curse him. Become a demon. You're a demon. Husbands and wives talk like that sometimes. You're a demon. You know, you're a demon. They do. They talk like that. Devotees. It's only jesting, but she cursed the guy. He became a pure devotee demon. That's cool. Brichasura, 6th canto Bhagavatam. He's a pure devotee. He was Chitraketu in last life. So what did Shiva teach his beloved wife about the quality of pure devotees of Vishnu and Narayan? What is their bhav? What is their attitude? How they see the reality of their life? Narayanam parasarve na kushashana bibyati swarga pavarga narakesh abitul yarta darshana. A pure devotee of Radha and Krishna, a Gaudiya Vaisnava and Madhurya Bhava, Bhakta or whatever. He's not bibyati, he's not by, he's not afraid. He's not afraid to go anywhere. Narayana Parasave, the pure devotees of Narayan and Krishna Ram, they don't care about Swarga, they don't care about Vaikuntha, going to heavenly planets, they don't care about going to hell. Swarga, Apavarga, Narakeshu. Because what they see? Tuyarta Darshana. The value of all this, the benefit, the value of all these places is the same. Tuya means balance. Tula Rasi means Libra. Libra Rasi is Tula. So Tuyarta Darshana. They see they're all equal. Hell, heaven, Vaikuntha is all equal. I don't care. Vadana Jana Sundariam Kaujam Vadu Vishkana Mama Jama Jamishri Bhavata Vaita. The devotee will come to a place, you can't force it, you can't imitate, you can't fake anybody out. But and Satyarayan Baba made a nice comment on this, and it's in the Sandarbha. He says devotees exclusively devoted to Krishna, Bhagavan Sri Krishna are not afraid of anything. Not afraid of anything. Davivyati. Not afraid of anything. They regard all circumstances as equal. Whether they go heaven or heaven, it's all equal. So what I'm saying is a devotee, especially a Gaudiya Vaishnava, will come to a point in the development of Bhakti Bhajan that he's happy wherever he is. He actually literally is ready to go to hell. He won't go to hell. It's not Krishna not going to send him to hell. But he's not afraid of taking another birth because he's convinced. He's seen it. He's convinced. Realized that in the next world I'll continue to serve Krishna. My happiness is here right now. There's no will be. There's no was. There will be is future, was is past. For a pure devotee, there's no will be or no was. He's always in the is. Is nitya. Seva is nitya. It's called nitya seva. Your nitya deya. Sarup is siddhi, or siddha is nitya. Siddha, perfect. So devotee, now when it comes after some time, it comes on its own. That conviction, that realization, that vision. That you see, I'm living in eternity right now, and this eternity I'm living is going to continue forever. Here or there, anywhere. So nabivyati, nabayam, what's the fear? Disease, old age, you get a new body, this one's all beat up. A nice shiny body, you know. There's a story of Bhakta Balak Madan Mohan. Right? Got the name right? Bhakta Balak Madan Mohan. Right? So this is about 100 years ago in Braj Mandal. This don't do that. Don't shake your leg. They'll be nervous. Relax. This Bhakta Balak Madan Mohan, he was born in Barsana. Lucky guy. Barsane Wali Radhe, Shri Radhe, Radhe, Radhe. So when he came out of the womb, he didn't say mama, papa. Very soon he started speaking. He said Radhe, 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 Radhe. I said, what is this? He's 2 years old, 1 year old, very small. And his eyes were sparkling with bliss. He was smiling, Radhe, Radhe, Radhe. And he continued to chant Radhe, Radhe for 11 years. Non-stop, 24 hours a day. Sleeping very little, eating little. The parents were amazed. People were coming from everywhere to have darshan. Bhakta Balak Madan Mohan. It's written all the books of history of Braj, contemporary history. So they took him to an astrologer came to see him and did his chart. And said this devotee had a little bit more of sadhana to get perfection. He's going to Radha Krishna. He's going to Nitya to Radha Krishna. Lucky guy, huh? So maybe we'll have a birth like that. Next life we'll be born Radhe, Radhe, Radhe. So we practice now, always chanting Radhe, Radhe, then you'll get good at it. Then maybe you'll get rewarded at Vrindavan birth. You'll chant Radhe, Radhe, and go back to go to Krishna. So there's great potential. So you're gonna be a prema bhakta, be a perfect prema bhakta. That's the conclusion. Don't be a Sukaish Uttara Prema Bhakta. Don't be a Prem Se Uttara Bhakta. Prema Bhakta. Be a Shuddha Bhakta. Anyabhilashti Shunyam Jnana Krama Yavana Avakanena Krishna Shilana Bhakti Uttama. This is Uttama Bhakti. Because Puran describes Bhakti with general class of Bhakti for all Vaishnavas. What's that verse? Sarvapati vinirmuktam tatpravadena nirmala rishikena sevanam bhakti uchate. This is how Prabhupada describes bhakti for a general class. But Lord Chaitanya didn't preach to the general class. He preached to everybody, but he preached the highest conception of bhakti. Anabhilasya. That's all, folks. What time is it?
I have a question to this.
Okay, hold your horses. What time
this
is it?
When you read
Wait. 5:15. Okay, thank you. I just want to find time. Yes.
When you read the Vila Kurumanjali and you see what is the feeling of Raghunath Das Goswami, and you see verse 7, 8, 9, 10, is always like he's hankering for Radha's, to be with Radha.
Yeah.
To be there. And
that's
he said,
some
wow,
substance
I fell in an ocean of sorrow, and now please take me to your in this powerful boat of your mercy, to your lotus feet and all this. So he wants to be there. So what is there? What is there now?
How does it fit together? The question is asked. Vilakutsmanjali Das Goswami is showing the ideal of a Raghunath Bhakta in Manjari Bhava Upasana. Practicing sadhana to become a Manjari Radharani. He's displaying the ideal bhav and the ideal practice and the ideal aspiration. So his aspiration is, his practice is crying, his aspiration is to serve Radharani right now. Please take me, I can't bear it anymore. Tavevasmi, najivami tvavina, idivigaya radhi tvam nayamam. Nayamam charanantikam. Please take me to your lotus feet, your nails or your lotus feet, antikam, and keep me there. So he's showing this desperation required in bhajan. But, so Das Goswami is Nitya Parishad, but he's teaching, this is the seventh substance of bhajan. We have to be desperate, like Das Goswami. But we also accept if I take another birth, it's okay. There's two things are there. That's Nischayat and Upadeshamrita, third verse. Utsaha Nischayat Daryat. There's intense enthusiasm, but there's patience. We have to develop that mood, otherwise we won't get anywhere. So we develop that mood fully, we'll go to Krishna in this life, we'll go to Radharani in this life. But we may not be that fortunate to develop all that in this life. So I'll take another birth. So we're not afraid. We're not bibhiti. We're not afraid of another birth. It's okay. I don't need it. Thank you. Not afraid of another person. We have to be honest. You have to assess, make an honest assessment. We hope it's a whole Ashabandha. That's the syndrome of Bhava Bhakti. But that syndrome of Bhava Bhakti, that syndrome is also in Bhakti. There's Bhakti, Sadhana Bhakti, Bhava Bhakti, Prema Bhakti. So we also have a little love for Krishna. Not full blown prema, but we have some love. We don't have ecstatic symptoms of bhav. We have some bhav also. We're doing sadhana bhakti. So we're hoping. Ashabandha means bound by hope. I'm hoping this life I get the glance of Radharani, I attain perfection. I go to take birth in Mohan Vrindavan from Mohan Gopi and Prakad Lila to serve Radha Krishna. That's everyone's aspiration, everyone's hope, everyone's meditation, everyone's prayer. What's the fact going to be? Everyone's going to make it? No. Everyone starts college. How many graduate? 5% or 10% or something. The first year, they drop out here, they get married, is that. So everyone's starting bhakti, everyone's on the path of Rag Margan, but they get sidetracked or derailed, or they don't reach the mark. So what to do? So okay, that's the mood I was trying to convey in my answer. Wasn't excluding this bhav of Das Goswami. This is desperation bhav. That's like one sannyasi once said, this material world is the area of exploitation. Everyone's exploiting each other. This material world exploitation. Man exploiting woman, woman exploiting man. Everyone's exploiting man. Everyone's exploiting nature and everything. Exploitation. Vaikuntha is an area of dedication. Everyone's dedicated service. Brajadam is an area of desperation. Yashoda becomes desperate with Krishna. Coward boys become desperate. Where were you? We're almost left our body. Where were you? Oh, we're looking at Mango Subhali, where to find the cows. There were 6 hours of rock, and they were like, oh God. You tell them to make sure not check yourself with the Sunyaya tells you got something going to do it anyway. Without Govinda, they're going crazy. Where are you? So they have the same vira that the gopis have, but in Shakyaras vira. Mother Yashoda has Vatsalya Ras vira. She just said, where's my Lala? He's been dying. When's he coming back? Nana, go find him. It's 9 hours. He went out for the cows. Where is he? Maybe some Rakshasa you can go see. Oh, he's okay. Relax. Oh, well. Send some messengers. Go. He's just passing through Barsana. Acha. Maybe another 5 hours before he gets here. Those girls will catch him over there. So she can't bear the separation. When Krishna leaves everywhere, she faints. Yashoda faints, Radharani faints, Raktak Patrak, everybody faints. Raktak Patrak, they live in the house in Nanda Bhavan's palace, and they faint also. Oh, you're going, oh. And they go wash Krishna's clothes and make his bed and stuff. But because they don't go with the Gocharan. Raktak Patrak stay in the house. Piyoda, Raktak Patrak. Questions, answers. Baba, Radharani. Hey, Baba. Hari, thank you. Hari Krishna.
I was listening.
I thought you were meditating.
No, I was listening on the answers.
Oh, thank you. I'm glad you're here. Questions? Okay, now, yes, she already asked two, this is the third one. Anyone else a question? You guys have a question back there? No question? Shri Balaram, Bolye, Prashna, Orkya. So, Muralika. Okay, we're going to work out a translation program here. Ruski to Grace. Okay, well, no, yeah. Something, she has something there?
No, just wait. I will translate.
Oh, translate, okay. Oh,
One small question.
yeah. Okay, small question.
It is written that we have Krishna karma, we don't have karma as devotees. But why we have influence of planets still? Horoscopes.
Question is asked that when one takes diksha, proper diksha, mantra diksha, then he's under Krishna's protection and his karma gets eliminated. So why does the planetary influences of that individual's Janma Kundali seem to affect that person? Because it was told in 10th canto, what was that verse? Chapter 80, 10th canto, chapter 88, verse 4, one of those verses. It's in the story of Rikasura that had a benediction of crackheads. It says, yes, Harishite, you know that verse, Harishite? Krishna takes away everything.
Yes, yasyaham anugranam.
Yeah, okay, thank you, I'll look it up, thank you. Yeah, you got a great memory. Smart guy. He's a style of Radha Govinda, you know, a big Pandit guy. He'll be proud. Your guru will be proud of you. It's not in here. Yasyaham
anugranami.
Yasyaham. Yeah. Oh yeah, here it is. I didn't see it. Every Indian in Bharatvarsha knows this verse. They know the idea of this verse. And they're deathly afraid of it. What is it? Yes, I had it and I lost it. 263. Every Indian knows the gist of this verse and they're very afraid of it. They don't know the verse, they know the idea. And so that's why everyone worships Shiva and Durga. Krishna, watch out. So this is what is told here. 1088 verse 8. Krishna himself is telling. He's telling to Shiva, because Shiva gave a benediction to Britasura, you could crack heads. Put his finger on the head and crack it. It'd be great to be a temple commander like that, you know. You don't do the same, I'll crack your head. Okay, I'll do the same. So he put the finger on the head and crack it in half. Boom, finished. Crack the eggshell. You're finished. So he said, he got the wound, he said, thanks, Shiva. Then he went to touch Shiva's head. He said, wait, crack, and Shiva started running away. Then Krishna, to save his devotee Shiva, of course you won't find this in Shiva Puran. But in Bhagavad Puran you'll find Krishna's glorious, he's great. So Shiva was running, and Krishna came with the little boy Gopal. And Shiva kept running, and Krishna appeared in front of Britasura. Hey, Roko, where are you going so fast? I'm going to go crack Shiva's head. He said, what? I'm going to crack Shiva's head. Well, how can you do that? He gave me a benedict, he gave me a ashirwad, he gave me a boon, I can crack his head. You believe him? He hangs around with ghosts and prays, and he's intoxicated half the time. He's covered with ashes. He's not a reliable guy, you know. You can't put your money on him, you know. You can't trust him. You really believe it? He said, yeah, I worship him. I almost cut my head off in the Homa Kund. I was going to offer my head in the fire. And he came out of the fire and said, what do you want? So he gave him a boon. He said, come on, that's ridiculous, you know. Do you believe that? Look, I'll tell you what. And Krish Gopal is so attractive, so sweet. His face looks like a gulab jamun, you know. Really sweet face. Richard Sroor, he's not Sroor, but he likes gulab jamuns, you know. Many Sroors like gulab jamuns. So Gopal looked like a gulab jamun, so he felt like eating him. He thought it was so sweet. He said, "Do you believe that, Shiva?" Well, look, tell you what, I have an idea. Just to make sure that the boon he gave you is work. Touch your own head and see if it works. Yeah, okay, that's a great idea, you know. So he touched the boon. He finished. So Krishna's comment on this Leela, he said this. 10 Bhagavatam, chapter 88, verse 8. And the Tika, this you can read in Sarda Darshini, 1088. The whole Tika explains about Krishna karma, regular karma. And the whole Tika explains how the devotees doesn't have any karma, Krishna takes away, and how he gives it and this and that. So the verse, Sri Bhagavana Vacha, Yasya Managri Nami, Harishye Tad Danam Shane, Tato Danam Tijat Yasya, Swajana Dukkha Dukhitam. If Krishna, especially anugraha means special favor, special mercy. If Krishna gives you special mercy, he takes away everything. So everything is afraid. Like one guy said, my wife has to Gopal, she says, worship Krishna. Don't worship Krishna. Don't you know Krishna takes everything away? People worship and they become beggars, you know. Really? Yeah, worship Shiva, Durga, you're better off. I worship Shiva, look how rich I am. Yeah, you're really rich. I worship Krishna, you're a beggar. So the wife said, you want to do puja Krishna? I want to Shiva Mandir. Why you go to Shiva Mandir? Because Krishna's going to take everything away. He says it right here. Yes, if I favor someone, but Krishna doesn't favor everybody. Someone who's begging for the mercy of Krishna and dying for the mercy of Krishna and crying for the mercy of Krishna, Krishna may think about giving you mercy. But this guy wants money, and his wife told him to worship Krishna and get money, and so he bumped into a friend of Shiva Bhakta, and he said, yeah, that's not a good idea. You can become a beggar that way. So he didn't go. Because Krishna says, so Krishna only favors very few people. Because Indians are asking about this verse in Delhi. I said, don't worry, you're not the kind of guy Krishna's going to favor. You're not going to, don't worry, don't have a hesitation to worship Krishna. Because Krishna's not going to give you that much anugraha. He rarely gives that much anugraha. Anugraha is a quality of prema. Hari means thief. He takes away everything. Tadanam Shane, your followers, your wealth, and everything. And what happens then? Dukkha Dukhitam. You become Kub Dukhi, unhappy. What's the translation? It's an amazing translation. Let's hear it. Krishna says, Shiva, listen, if I favor somebody, like Shiva gets favors for people to get him in trouble. Get himself killed by his favors. But Krishna, I don't give those favors. If I give favors, I take everything away. Madan Dan Krishna Samarpam. I take everything. Madan Dan Krishna Samarpam. I make everybody worship me with their body, their words, their life, their money, everything. Krishna's telling. If I especially, that word especially, if I especially favor someone, I take away his wealth. Then his family and friends leave him because poverty stricken, and this way he suffers one distress after another. Dukkha Dukhitam, Uttam Dukhi, big time misery. So watch out! Don't worship Krishna. You're lucky he'll take away everything. Good luck. Radha Sham. What was the question? I don't know, I got lost. I got lost in the drama of my performance. Right. I'm in an entertaining mood today because I'm hungry. This lady, her husband bought me lunch, but it came at time for offering and no time to eat. So I'm taking out my hunger on humor. I'm trying to laugh away my misery, you know. Oh, my stomach. Empty tank. And foreign cars made in Germany, the car gets empty, it has a special tank. You hit a switch and it has more gas. This little bit of tank it says empty, but you still get extra. So my tank is empty, but I get a little more gas. I'm still running. Questions? Oh, that's recorded. That's weird. Turn that off. Questions? What time is now? 5:42.
5:33.
5:33. Slow day today. Questions from the Radha team? Yeah, Vala.
When we talk about there being Gopal is always manifested somewhere in the universes, does this mean that the Gopal is manifested sequentially, like one ends and another one begins, or is there multi-Gopals happening at the same time?
That's a nice question. Tattva Shastras are saying that the spiritual realm of Vrindavan, Gokul Vrindavan, is eternally manifest somewhere in the material universe on some earth planet. And so there's so many leelas, because Jiva Goswami says every leela of Krishna is eternal. So there's multi-levels. So Gokul Leela, in one universe, there's Gokul Leela where Krishna's killing Putana, and then in the next universe at that same time he's killing Putana. Another universe, another Gokul, Krishna's knocking the Shakatsura demon. So every Leela is eternally going on in some compartment, some universe. So if that's not enough to really blow your mind, what do you need more, you know? It's a chintya, inconceivable. Don't worry about all the compartments. Just find one compartment and go to sleep in one compartment. Like a train boat, has many compartments. You just find one with an empty bunk and go to sleep. So you just find your Gokul and go there and do service. Don't worry about the other Gokuls. It's unbelievable because like Mother Yashoda is always in Gokul with baby Krishna, and she's always been on the ground with Govinda, Gopal. She's out with Gopal. She's there with Govinda simultaneously. It's like the whole idea of the spiritual world. It's not a planet. That's the first mind blower. When you think that Goloka is a planet, you go in a spaceship, it comes, dust is flying out. Put the landing plane comes down and walk out. Come down to Kamavisha trees, parrots, peacocks dancing. You can go over on a hill. Wow, I made it. It's not a planet. It's a realm. It's a level of consciousness. Spiritual world is inside our heart, outside. It's described in Adi Leela, chapter 5, verse 20 or something. It's describing about Vaikuntha down in the spiritual world. It says, Upari, Upari, it's above. It says, Anatta Vibhu, it's everywhere. Spiritual world is Sarvagata. Just like Krishna in Gita says, the Atma is Sarvagata. Sarvagata means it goes everywhere. So one Atma in this body is not all-pervading universe. The Atma in my body is all-pervading this body by consciousness energy. So Sarvagata means the spiritual world is everywhere. Sarvagata, it's in every direction. And it's Upari and Upari, Upa and Ari. It's up and it's down. So that's, wow, what is that? You know, so that spiritual realm is here. There's no Goloka Vrindavan planet. There's a planet of moon, there's a planet of Varuna, there's a planet of sun. These are planets, grand. But the Vaikuntha is not a planet, it's a realm. It's called world realm. So, I get a headache. What kind of class is this? You got to give aspirin, everybody go out the door, you know. You got to get one sweet, one tab of aspirin, you know. This is what's told in our Shastra. This is the truth.
You can't understand it, but you can feel it.
Yeah, that's right. It's like love.
Right.
Love is the same way. You can't understand, you just feel good if you're in love. Jai Radhe Shyam, Jai Jaya Sri Radhe Shyam. Okay, more earth-shattering news coming your way. More illusion, more shattering, more illusion-shattering truths coming your way. Help, save me. Das, you're sleeping or what are you doing? You're leaning on the window so you can see me. That's cool. Okay. This guy's too fat in front of you. Okay, questions? Okay. Kushi's going to make us Kushi. Right.
Maharaj, my question is that if someone receives a Siddha Pranali from his guru, so will he attain prema this lifetime or he might have to take more births?
I didn't hear. I heard the first part. I didn't hear the second part. The question is, if some fortunate Bhagya Jeev receives Siddha Pranali Diksha from a guru, then what?
Will he attain prema this lifetime or he might have to take more births to attain prema?
Will he attain prema in this lifetime, or he or she has to take another birth?
The question is, if one gets Siddha Pranali from a guru, will he or she attain prema in this life or next life? That depends on how Krishna wants to deal with it. You may take another life, may take 5 more lives. It's not, in other words, it's not you get Siddha Pranali, you got an instant guaranteed ticket to the spiritual world. It's not like that. You have to have, the entrance is prema. So many people have Siddha and they're in Nartanivriti. Rag Bhagavad Chandrika, Vishwanath Charaka says you get Siddha at the level of Nartanivriti. Rag Bhakti is parallel path. It's similar to Vaidhi sadhana, but the impetus, the driving force is rag, is a passion, attachment, love, and surrender to Krishna, mentally and physically. But without praying, you can't get through the pearly gates of heaven now. Prema is necessary. Gopi prema, Madhurya prema. So get enrolled first and worry about graduating later. Spiritual world wasn't built in a day. Spiritual reality is not built in one day. It may take lifetimes. Look at Gita 644 Gita. Do you know that verse? Tricky verse. 644 Gita. Let's look at it, kids. What's it going to say? It's going to say, 644 Gita, Purva Vyasena Teneva Riyate Yava Shopisa Jignasura Yogasya Shabda Brahmarti Vartate. Purva Vyasena Riyate Yava Sho. In next life, you automatically gravitate toward, automatically pick up what spiritual practices you did in your last life. Purva Abhyas. Abhyas means sadhana. Abhyas, yoga abhyas, sadhana abhyas means spiritual practice. Purva Abhyasena. Krishna is saying, whatever you practice this life, you'll start again next life to attain siddhi. Siddhi for us is praying state of Radharani. $644 for Abhyasena. Riyate Avasho. He's automatically attracted, he or she. Avasha, Riyate. Purva Abhyasena. That's a good news. Nothing, Naib. What's that verse, 2nd chapter, 40th verse? 240, what is it? Deha vikrama nashosti. Very good. Gold star. You know that verse? Try to recall it. Who knows the verse? Raise your hand. 240. Dasanadashi. Wali. Jersey. Very good. What does it mean? Oh, no. I memorized the Gita. I don't know what it means. Come on, tell me. Think of the words. They're like Hindi, almost the same. Oh, no. Well, I'm at a loss for words here. Krama. You know, ever heard of Trivikram? Trivikram. Bhavana Day is called Trivikram. Kram means steps, means working. Kram means work, endeavor. Abhikram means this work, and this work of bhakti. Abhikram. Alpam, itna, you say itna, in Hindi you say itna, alpa in Sanskrit. Alpam, you do a little dharma, chayate matobaya, you're protected from the greatest fear. So you do a little bhakti bhajan, you're protected from the greatest fear. Greatest fear is to take birth in Pataloka, for animal birth. One more question. Please. My dear, you have a question? Oh, great. Fun. New face in the crowd. Okay, follow.
Bhakti, that it is not so easy to understand what is bhakti. Bhagavad Gita is about bhakti.
Yeah, it's about bhakti, karma, gyan, many things are there.
But Krishna said all this about gyan and karma. Why? And only then he said surrender.
The question is Gita talks about karma and gyan and bhakti. Question is, why is Krishna wants everyone to be his devotee and to love him? Why does he talk about karma and gyan? Is that your question? Why does he talk about karma and gyan? Because Gita is an Upanishad. It's called Gita Upanishad. And Upanishads deal with all these three subjects. Just like some Puranas, something's called Purana. There's 18 Puranas, 6 in the mode of goodness, 6 in the mode of tamagun, ignorance and passion. So Vishnu Purana, Bhagavad Purana, Skanda Purana, all the Puranas, every Purana has the same subjects in it. Creation, destruction, maintenance, Srishti Tava, all the subjects. So Upanishads always discuss these three subjects. Bhakti, like there's a book called Gopal Upanishad. Gopal Upanishad, mostly it talks about bhakti. There's some mention of karma and gyan there also. So Gita is an Upanishad, Gita Upanishad. The interesting thing Vishnu Chakravarti brings out, he said bhakti is like a rare treasure. So treasure is kept in a treasure box. You have a woman has a jewelry box, or she puts it in a safe, takes out whatever. So bhakti is like the treasure of the Vedas is bhakti. So on the top lid of the treasure box is karma, the bottom of it is gyan. Because chapter 1 through 6 is karma yoga, chapter 13 through 18 is Gyan Yoga, and 7 through 12 is Bhakti Yoga. So Bhakti Yoga is in the middle of Gita. Because I got a Bhagavad Gita when I was 16 years old, 19, I don't know, whatever, I don't know, a long time ago. 67 or 1967, you were floating in space somewhere. 1967. I got a Bhagavad Gita and I read it, so I know Bhagavad Gita. It was published by Maharishi Mahesh Yogi, TM, famous yogi and teacher, and Ayurvedic stuff and all that. They do good stuff, hospitals and stuff. So I read the Gita, and then I went to ISKCON. Somebody took me to ISKCON many years later, and they said, try to sell me the Gita. I went to the bookstore, they wanted to sell me the Gita. I said, I already have the Gita. They said, how many chapters does it have? I said, 6 chapters. The Gita has 6 chapters. There's 18 chapters. I said, what? I said, my Gita it says 6 chapters. It's about karma yoga. He said, no, it's about bhakti, man. So the whole Gita is published, and it says it's a Gita. It doesn't say it's chopped up. It's only what chapter 1 says Bhagavad Gita. Misleading. So that's it, because the bhakti is hidden. So the whole yoga group, they don't talk about bhakti as much, because somebody's going to say Hare Krishna. Stop doing TM, So bhakti is a rare secret. So it's kept, Krishna reveals his heart in 9th chapter, at the beginning of the bhakti conclusion, 7 to 12 is bhakti. The 12th chapter of Gita is called Bhakti Yoga. That's the title is Bhakti Yoga, 12th chapter. And actually, the verse in that chapter indicating Radharani. I gave a whole class how Radharani is in the Gita. Very nice class. It's recorded. And it's citing the verses from 12th canto. So he speaks that verse in the 9th chapter, 31st verse. So he hints at Bhakti in the Bhakti chapters, number 9. He speaks a verse. Then when he ends the conclusion, after all the karma, all the gyan, everything, he ends the Bhagavad Gita with 1865. He says, listen to Arjuna summary, because it's the end of the book. I'm summarizing all my teachings. Man mana baba mad bhakto mad yaji man namaskru man veshasi satyante pradijane pyosme. Always think of me, become my devotee, worship me and love me. And you'll come to me that way. So Krishna, Bhagavad Gita teaches love. The ultimate teaching of Bhagavad Gita is love. But because the Upanishad had to highlight some karma and highlight some gyan. The whole mission in the hardware, a big, fantastic spiritual mission called Chinmayananda mission. Chinmayananda said, wait, you're not a Vaishnava. And he preaches Gita like anything. He sells millions of Gitas, like more than we do. Not more than this kind, but has Gita class online everywhere, Gita, and he's just talking about waiting. The goal is Brahma Suyuja. The Gita teaches Brahma Suyuja. Brahma, he's Pratishthaham, I am Brahman, different interpretation. So you're a devotee, you're a lover of Krishna. So if you don't want to read that stuff, just read 7 to 12. Just skip over the other stuff. Let's see what we have here from chapter 12, what we can find out here. This is the last question, the last answer for today. I don't want to say last answer, otherwise I'll be checking out tonight. Hope not. Okay, Gita, chapter 12. A lot of verses here. Let's see if they got some of those. Oh, he doesn't have too many other verses. Oh. He doesn't have those verses. These are verse 1 from chapter 12, 2, 5, 6, 7, 8. That's all from chapter 12. Oh yeah, he has one verse. From chapter 12 of the Gita, verse 14, Krishna remembers he's on the battlefield for Kurukshetra. He starts remembering Radharani. Because, he met Radharani in Kurukshetra, when he was younger. When he was 50 years old, there was a solar eclipse. Krishna was 55. He came from Dwarka to Kurukshetra and met all the Brajvasis came from Vrindavan to meet Krishna in Kurukshetra. And all the queens in Dwarka, everybody came. Vrishni, everyone went to Kurukshetra. Krishna was about 55 years old. He came back to that same place, Kurukshetra, when he was 90 years old, 100 years old, spoke Bhagavad Gita. So when you go to a place, where you had go to a place where he last saw your girlfriend. Because last time he saw his girlfriend was Kurukshetra. According to Bhagavatam, Krishna, didn't come back to Vrindavan. According to Bhagavatam, he went to Kurukshetra when he was 90 years old. They went back to Dwarka. Bas didn't come back to Vrindavan. So who did he meet at Kurukshetra when he's 90 years old? Radharani ki jai, Maharani ki jai. So now he's coming there a few years later. Now he's 55. 55 we met Radharani. Now he's 90. 40 years later he comes to the same place. This same tree is here. Trees live for 300 years. It's 4 years later. We talked under this tree. So he's there with Arjuna speaking Gita. He's remembering Radharani. So he says, so he starts glorifying the pure devotee's qualities by meditating Radharani, speaking Radharani. So this is verse 14. It continues for about 10 verses. The same line. Santushta satatam yogi yatatma drita dishtaya mayapita manobhudir madbhakta samepriya. These 10 verses, about 10 verses, chapter 12, they end with the same line. 3 lines are different. The last Sanskrit lines, Madbhakta Samepriya. So that Priya is Priyaji Radharani. She's the greatest devotee. Here's a translation. Because these are all qualities of Radharani. Santushta Satatam Yogi. Santushta. Radharani is always satisfied. She's always engaged in devotion. She's self-controlled. She has great determination. Mayarpita mana buddhi. Her mind and intelligence is always fixed on me. This is Radharani, no one but Radharani. So this verse is about Radharani. Verse 12, Bhagavad Gita, chapter 12, verse 14 and 15, 16, about 8, 10 verses all about Radharani. Yo mad bhakta samepriya. One devotee told me, he listened to my class about Radharani and Gita, and he said, I never heard anyone described like this. I said, this is the mercy of Vaita Prabhu and my Guru Varg.
Jai
Jai Jai Sri Radhe, Jai Jai Sri Radhe, Jai Jai